All right, we are live.
Nice. How's the audio sounding?
Uh,
Crispity?
sure.
Hello, everybody. And welcome to Fireside Chats, starring Kevin Shelton and Jared Hubbard. Today, we're going to show you how to paint happy trees. Oh my God. I was trying to think of the name of the podcast.
Dude, I hate you. That's live for everybody to know.
It's been a long couple days, y'all. I've been moving. Wild out here. Oh God, my audio's so bad. I don't want to move this down here, but I'm gonna have to. I think. Let's check. Oh God, my audio's so bad. I don't want to move this down here, but I'm gonna have to. Well, it's not terrible.
Nah, you sounded worse.
I have. That's true.
I have already shared.
You've already shared?
Yeah, man.
You're so much faster than me.
Dude, I'm just on the ball.
Can you put it in the chat, the Facebook group?
Yeah.
Copy link, and I'll do the tweeter stuff.
The Twitter stuff.
Yeah, you put everything on the tweeter. Paste. Bam. Other account.
I have posted.
What do you call that thing? Oh yeah, here we go. Review.
Dude.
We're in trouble today.
This episode is doomed.
All right. Okay. Damn, Tyler Harrell with 41 points. Change. Let's turn the live chat up. Do it this way. All right, I'm ready if you are.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Silence Your Cell Phones. My name's Kevin Shelton, and I'm here today with the Grinch. I'm kidding. I'm with the jolliest person I know, my friend and co-host, Jared Hubbard.
One of those is a lie. I'll let you decide which one it is. Oh, what's up, everyone?
Everybody will have their take today after we talk about what makes a Christmas movie to you, or what's important about Christmas movies to you. And we'll dive into that question here shortly. First, Jared, we've been off for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I believe last week was my fault. Was it my fault? I can't even remember.
It was. We had a buddy from Philadelphia in, and it was his last night, last Thursday. So we wanted to see him off well. Obviously, you don't see friends from that far very often.
Yeah, and everybody wanted to just get beat in bowling, just be
yeah.
But you were a worthy opponent, and I appreciated the competitive fire that you brought.
I appreciate you. I do my best.
So we're back. And honestly, I'm surprised we got this one in because I have been in the middle of a move. And if anybody's ever moved, I'm sure you have, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's my least favorite thing on planet Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. And the worst part, the last place was like, it was three floors up. So
Yeah,
it was I sweated a lot. Sweat?
I think it's just sweat.
Really? Is that the
Yeah,
oh
I sweat a lot.
yeah, but when you say that it's like you're like when you say I sweat a lot, it's like you just a sweaty human in general.
Maybe you were sweating a lot.
Yeah, I was definitely doing that. But that's neither here nor there.
That's not what we're here to talk about.
Jared,
Yes,
last couple
sir.
weeks, what have you gotten into?
So we'll talk about it a little later. We saw Violent Night. I've been watching a ton of One Piece. I've been watching Blue Lock. I watched Avatar this week in preparation for Avatar 2. I watched Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio that just came out on Netflix.
Was it very Guillermo del Toro? Was it very his vibes?
Yeah, if you like Guillermo del Toro, you'll probably like the movie. I'm not a huge Pinocchio fan, like the story, but I really like del Toro. He's got one of my favorite movies, um, in Pan's Labyrinth, so I gave it a shot. It was okay. If you like the story, if you're like a Pinocchio person, you probably love it. Animation's a little weird, but that's very much his style of thing. And then I started Wednesday this week as well. So
Okay, and how was that?
it's really good. I love Jenna Ortega. I think she's one of the up and comers. I think she's like only 20. She's done really good filmography already at such a young age. So she's gonna continue to shine. It's Tim Burton, so it's got kind of the Burton-esque style to it, but it's a really cool show, and I like the
Well,
story it's telling.
that I, the Adams Family sounds like it should be done by Tim Burton.
Yeah,
It's you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you think of like the classic Adams Family vibe, and I feel like the pairing is a match made in heaven.
yeah. And the show does a bunch of like really small nods to the old Adams Family, like where they'll say something like "you rang" or something like where Lurch used to say that every time he opened the door, and just like little nods to OG Adams Family, which I really appreciate. Not that I'm a huge Adams Family fan, but it's enough. It's the generic stuff enough that I would say like, oh, that's a callback to Adams
Yeah,
Family things.
I used to watch with my grandparents, my dad's parents, me, mom,
Yeah,
poppy. Shout out to me, mom, poppy for watching. And the only thing I really remember, there are bits and pieces, but the kissing of the arm,
yeah,
is that a thing they do? Is that
yeah.
always a thing, or is that
You don't see a lot of Gomez and Morticia. At least I've only watched the first 3 episodes. So in those 3 episodes, it's you see them a little bit, but it's very much a Wednesday centric show and
yeah,
not quite Adams Family esque.
sure.
Now things in it, the hand, and I'm sure some other people make appearances throughout the show. Um, but like there's a scene where they do the snap and it's
Nice.
cool. It's just little things like that that I appreciate that you can kind of tell like the writers and the directors were took care of the source material,
Sure.
and I that always goes really far with me.
Yeah. I think that goes really far with a lot of fan bases who are um basically the audience you definitely want to have is the audience that has a history with the franchise or the that universe, that world.
Yeah,
So I think stuff like that goes a long way with people who are already fans of the Adams Family.
yeah.
Um, the Avatar.
hmm
When was the last time you watched the Avatar before this week?
Oh, it's been a decade or so.
So give me your take on that real quick. And I know we're diving into it a little bit more, but with Avatar 2 coming out, I kind of want to know your take on the first Avatar and what you're expecting from The Way of Water?
So the movie was way better this time around to me. And so I don't know if it's just I've grown a lot more as a movie watcher and I'm appreciating things I didn't appreciate in 2009 when I was a senior in high school, or it's just the movie visually still holds up to what I would consider 2022 standards. Like
Sure.
if that movie came out today, it would still be gorgeous in a world full of MCU Disney films, things like
Yeah.
that. The story, I know it gets a lot of crap from a lot of people about it. It is very much an 80s written story, which is when the movie was in the early stages of development. So it's very Dances with Wolves, Pocahontas-esque, Fern Gully. I've seen a bunch of comparisons, but I don't
Yeah.
think you're watching the movie for the story. I think you're watching for what James Cameron does for movies, like the entire
Like just cinema in
yeah, the
general.
entire cinema in general. Like he changed the
Sure.
way CGI and effects were used and the way companies looked at making films. And I think that's what makes Avatar such an epic. Uh Now I do also have to give credit. I know I said like the story's kind of generic, but Avatar's I was kind of looking at the list a little earlier. Avatar is one of the highest gross or the highest grossing film or second highest grossing now. That's almost all original content. You know, James Cameron made a world, made a planet, made a species of aliens and wildlife and all of that. And it made billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't like he's not riding the back of a decade long MCU story with Spider-Man, Captain America, all these already characters. Like this is a from scratch world he's building, and I think that's not appreciated enough either. Because
Sure.
I think the movie just, I was talking to a guy at the card shop tonight, and he was like, "Well, if it's so epic, why can no one name more than one person's character name?"
Sure.
And I was like, "Okay, name me 3 characters from Citizen Kane or Casablanca."
Right.
And he couldn't. I was like, "So does that make those movies not impactful?"
Sure.
I was like, unless you are a fan of like a deep fan of a movie, very rarely will you be able to remember a lot of characters' names, especially when they're all essential like Native American type names. They're not like Sam, Susie, Sally.
Right.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're alien names.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna discredit anyone for that. But that was kind of my soapbox. But as far as
Okay.
what I'm looking forward to for The Way of Water, I'm expecting the same thing. I think this movie is going to be a 2022 film that looks like it was made in 2042. Uh,
That's what
James,
we've come to expect. I mean,
yeah,
really.
we kind of joke about the debate a lot. Obviously, Steven Spielberg is probably the greatest
Go.
director
Go.
to ever do it.
Yeah.
I think
Go.
James Cameron is the most innovative director to ever do it.
Sure.
And for what he does for cinema.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I don't know if I would say that just because of Spielberg's like 80s and 90s films that obviously were incredible and
Yeah.
I thought did a lot for cinema. But that's not to discredit James Cameron in any way. He's very easily, to me, a top 3 director all time.
Yeah.
So that's just I don't like doing that, but to me, it's not. Spielberg is just next level.
I mean, obviously,
good,
I think Spielberg's the greatest director to ever do it.
Sure.
I think James Cameron pushes more boundaries than Spielberg does. And he's got visions that he takes 13 years to do. Like it's been 13 years since we've seen an Avatar film.
Right.
And so I think he's meticulous, and I think the movie's going to be great. The trailers look stunning.
They're beautiful.
Just like absolutely insane.
Right.
I'm excited to see more of Pandora. That's why I watched the first one, because I didn't want to lose any lore. I didn't want to go into the second one and say, was that a callback or should I have known
Sure.
where any of this story? So that's why I rewatched it, and I'm excited to see more of the world and see what he fleshes out in this story.
Yeah, and two things. Kevin Gallo, we are huge fans of you, bud.
Yes.
And I forgot the second thing. I just want to talk about how much. Oh, Kev, I'm going to see you in like 10 days, homie. So get ready. It's going to be a party in Biloxi. That was all. That was the second thing. I'm excited. I get to see my boy. Well, it sounds like you were fairly busy over the last couple
what
weeks.
about you, though? I kind of stole the spotlight from
you. No, you're fine. I asked you questions. That's on me. But I said it like it was a bad thing. It was very good. I always want to know your take, especially on something like Avatar, where we haven't. It's like you said, we don't have anything for the last 13 years, and I haven't gotten to rewatch the first one yet. That's something I'm going to do probably today, maybe tomorrow after my half day of work. Sorry, I was ribbing Jared earlier, pre-stream. I don't know what just happened. I hit a button on my mouse. Okay, we're back. So maybe tonight after we get done with the episode, or tomorrow, I'll rewatch the first Avatar. I haven't seen it in a decade plus as well.
Yeah.
And knowing what I know now, as opposed to when I originally watched the film, I imagine I'll be taking away a lot of new things that either I didn't catch or just wouldn't have noticed had we not started doing this podcast. Yep. So I'm excited. I really am. As far as what I've been watching, so I movie wise, Violent Night. I did watch the first Enola Holmes because I wanted to rewatch it after the second one came out. Blue Lock, like you, really big into that right now. I think it's a fantastic anime, sports anime. There's not many of those that I hold in high regard. Bocchi the Rock, obviously a gem of a show. Chainsaw Man, I'm an episode behind, but I did watch last week's episode, and most of my last 2 weeks, this is not an exaggeration, I've watched 126 episodes of Black Clover. And that is just, I got stuck. I started rewatching it, and I was pretty much done after the first couple of episodes. And they're quick. They're like 20 minutes, dude. So I smashed through those.
Yeah. I still don't know how you rewatch anime like that.
Dude, I get in these kicks where I'll see it and I'll be like, I could watch a little bit of that. And it turns into, I watched the entire thing in 72 hours type of deal.
Yeah, that's wild to me. Like I have like Full Metal Alchemist. That's like the one anime
that's your yearly.
I'll rewatch consistently, but like you're always like, yeah, I'm rewatching Hunter x Hunter, or like, yeah, watch Naruto, and I'm like, dude, these are like 500 episodes. Like one day you're just gonna message me and be like, oh yep, restarted One Piece.
Yeah, dude, episode 1, baby, I'm catching up. Yeah, I would never. That's a stretch. That one's
it's scary. It's
that's
daunting.
An endeavor. Yeah, I'd be way too scared to. And a matter of fact, if I hadn't started when I did, I probably never would have watched it. If I'm being 100%, like, it feels like right now I'm staying current just to say that I'm current on One Piece, like just to be that guy who can flex it, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean it's
a flex. Yeah,
it's a status move.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, good animes, good shows. We're going to discuss Violent Night, which we saw the week before last when it came out. And then you posed a question a couple weeks ago, and since we got the extra week to think about it, we have come prepared with answers. Could you go ahead and remind us of the question?
Yeah, so the question I posed a couple weeks ago was, when you think about great holiday films, do you consider them great because of the Christmas spirit that, or the holiday spirit, excuse me, that that the movie makes you feel, or are they just good movies set in Christmas or holiday times?
Right. So we'll dive into that. But first, let's talk about Violent Night, Jared.
Yeah.
Because and honestly, this year's been kind of good for Christmas movies. I really liked Spirited. I thought Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell together in a musical was fantastic. And I didn't expect much from Violent Night. I honestly thought it was like a gory, like horror action film. But it wasn't a horror action film. It was a comedy action film.
Yeah.
And it was an absolute gem.
Yeah, it's just, I love movies that are so unassuming that I don't think much about them. I'm just like, okay, I'll go see Violent Night because it's really the only thing in theaters that I would want to see. And then their movies are just really good.
Yeah, so as far as the cast goes, obviously the big name here is David Harbour. Mm-hmm. Most people know him as Hop or Hopper from Stranger Things. He also plays the dad of the Scarlet
Black Widow.
Black Widow, thank you. Why was I thinking I couldn't get off Scarlet Witch? And I was gonna say Scarlet Widow next, and I was like, that's not it. It's not it. He plays the father of Black Widow in her origin story, and he has become a big name actor in recent years. He played Hellboy as well. I think he's the most recent Hellboy, right?
Yeah, in the remake, yeah.
Yeah. So he's really, really good. And I was super excited to see him in this role. Because he doesn't look like a Santa.
He does not look like a Santa.
Like if you see him in anything else, you're like, there's no way he could play Santa Claus in anything. And yet here I am, eating my words, because Violent Night was fantastic. I thought the best part about Violent Night, right, was the humor.
Yeah, easily.
Like it was so funny.
Movies that know their role and lean into it are always fantastic. And this movie knew it was an over the top Christmas film. And it didn't try to take itself too seriously, which I appreciated. It wasn't like a super serious action film. And you get these like funny little puns and stuff throughout the movies, and just a great one-liners from everybody.
Yeah. So if you don't know, the movie is David Harbour is Santa Claus, and it's Christmas night, and I guess the main protagonist family are Alex Hassel is the dad. He plays Jason Lights, the Lightstone family. Sorry, yeah. I'm looking at the IMDb. I couldn't remember their names. The Lightstone family, mom, dad, little girl, and they are visiting his mother, who is apparently just filthy, disgustingly rich.
Yeah.
And they have this like Christmas Eve party, and it gets basically taken over by thieves, bad guys, and Santa Claus just happens to be there. And what follows is a whole lot of murder.
Yeah.
And a throwback to Santa Claus's past life as a Viking
It's the
warrior.
Viking warrior. It's the best Santa origin story I've ever seen.
He's essentially
Really.
Thor, y'all.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. Wields a hammer. Uh, it's just you just get so caught off guard by it because you're sitting there like, yeah, oh, it's Santa, and then he's shirtless and he's got these like Celtic tattoos just like all the way across. He's got like he's got two sleeve tattoos.
He's stitching himself up like in a God, it was like a war scene.
Yeah.
And he's like slow motion stitching himself up. You got like hardcore music in the background. It was great. Absolutely great.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was like, there's so many like small references to other movies in this, and like some not so small. Like obviously, I'm a Home Alone fan,
Yeah.
and so like when there was like the like semi Home Alone scene, but it's just like adult.
Yeah.
It's like if Home Alone was actually real, what would have happened to those people?
Oh, facts.
I appreciated it. The stuff like when he's like on the walkie and he's like Santa's coming to town, and I'm like, dude, I love the cheesiness of this film.
Christmas dies tonight.
Christmas dies tonight.
Yeah, it was fantastic. There's just a lot of real, like you said, there's a lot of really good one-liners in here, and they did have some like I did enjoy the Home Alone references, but also there was a little bit of like Die Hard flair.
Yeah.
With him like taking out each enemy kind of individually, communicating on a walkie-talkie with Scrooge, the main bad guy.
Yeah.
So it was, I don't know, man, it was really cool. It's a movie that I would like if next year Christmas comes around, they're like, you want to watch Violent Night? Hell yeah. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not saying put it in the rotation for sure, but I might have to watch it again.
I mean, it's definitely not like it's not a feel-good Christmas movie, right? It's very different than all the other holiday movies that come out that are like trying to teach you, even though there is a story in this movie about, believing in things and all of that and not being greedy, so forth and so on. But it's not the traditional family values. So if you're like looking to watch something with your two kids and your wife, I wouldn't suggest this.
Yeah, this is not wholesome.
They might be scarred of Santa for life.
Santa's coming.
No! Yeah, but if you're just vibing out with some friends and you just want a good laugh, I think Violent Night's the way to go. The name is kind of deceiving because, like you said, it gives very much a horror vibe. But it is not a horror film in the slightest. It is gory. There are some over the top kills.
I actually thought it could have been gorier, if I'm being honest. I
think it was like the right level of gore, because there was like when the guy falls through the staircase and like the nail goes through his I was like, dude, that makes me squeamish.
Yeah. The hammer. He did a lot of work.
He did some crazy stuff with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Now
you think about it, yeah, there's like a wood chipper in there too, I think, right?
Yeah.
There was some. You know what? Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think it was the right amount.
It was like on the line.
I forgot about all that other bloody stuff that we saw.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot. But I mean, like every character in that movie was enjoyable in some degree. Like even the crappy characters, like his sister, her husband, and her kid.
Yes.
That are just like they're made to be awful. You want to hate them, but they're just funny.
Yeah, the kid was he was a little douche.
He was a little douche.
There's no other way around it.
Him being named Bertrude after his grandmother, who was Gertrude's hilarious. And then he's a TikToker and he's like, welcome to the Burt Locker. And I'm like, dude, I love it. I shouldn't, but it's funny.
Yeah. Oh man. So if you haven't, and it's still doing really, it's got like a 7.2 on IMDb, which is really good for a movie that's been out for 3 weeks. Yeah,
that's about where it should stay.
Yeah, and it probably will. Like it pretty much evens out after 2 to 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
7.1, that's rock solid. I think more people should watch it. I don't know how it's done in the box office, but
I'm assuming
um,
not great.
I'm also assuming not great, but that's not entirely their fault. Like a lot of good stuff is a lot of decent movies have come out recently.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily fault Violent Night for that. Um, but yeah, if you haven't watched it and that's something sounds like something you're in the market to watch, by all means, I highly recommend. I probably would have also given this movie like a 7. They stuck to their guns. They did what they set out to do, and that's make a good movie and make people laugh and enjoy themselves. And that's all I did during the film. So I
Yeah.
don't know. What
I
about
think
you,
it's
Jared?
exactly what you want on a Friday night. Oh, I think 7 for sure. Uh,
You're lagging a little bit. I don't know if that's me or you, bud.
uh,
It might be me because my internet is just absolutely not great.
no,
Oh no, it is you. Might be me because my internet is. Oh no, that's you. All right, so it looks like we've lost Jarrett for a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be back. Um, that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and shift gears and talk about uh the question that Jarrett posed a couple weeks ago. What makes a Christmas movie? There and there goes the recording. Oh,
am I back now?
yeah, you're back now.
Okay.
Could you hear me the whole time?
Yeah, I was talking to you.
There goes the recording. Oh, nice.
Am I back now?
Oh, we're good. Okay, awesome. Jarrett, I didn't know how long I'd be without you. I started to shift gears. Um, so we're gonna talk. Are you there? Are you
Yeah,
frozen? Okay,
yeah.
I
No,
was
I'm
just
here.
making sure. So the question that you posed is: are Christmas movies good because they bring the spirit, or are they good because well? And what how I wrote it down was, uh, does quality make them good, or does Christmas spirit make them good? Essentially,
Mhm.
right? So that was kind of how I worded it, and I talked to you a little bit earlier today before the podcast, and I said it might be kind of a cop out, but to me, the best Christmas movies have a little bit of both. The Christmas movies that I don't like, say, A Christmas Story.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. All right. But it's not because it doesn't bring the spirit, because it does. It's just to me not a good movie, not a good film.
fair.
So I don't think it necessarily, if it brings the spirit, that doesn't necessarily make it a good or bad movie. I think the quality has a lot to do with that. But I think for it to be a memorable Christmas movie that I throw in the holiday rotation, it's got to have a little bit of both. Like Elf, for instance, we talked about it a lot over the holidays because to me it's one of the all-time classic Christmas movies. Well, not only does it bring the spirit of Christmas in a huge way, I might add, it's also a good film
Yeah.
with good actors, good performances, um, good writing. Like I think it's got to have all these things to be considered a great Christmas movie or a great holiday film. So I don't know if that's a cop out. That's just kind of where I'm at on that question. But I don't know. You had a discussion a couple weeks back, and I think it revolved mostly around Die Hard
Yeah.
and whether or not it was considered a Christmas movie. I personally would consider it a Christmas movie, um, but some people don't.
But
But
there's like,
what would your argument? I guess what would your counter to that be? What would
oh,
you argue in that case?
what, that it is a Christmas movie?
Sure.
Well, I mean, it's just like your generic Christmas theme. It's a dad trying to get home to his kids on Christmas that gets stopped and has to do things before he can go home.
Yeah, it's like Hawkeye. Essentially, I mean,
Yeah.
you just described the Hawkeye TV show,
Yeah.
and we had said it was last year, right? No, last year when it came out, or was it early
Yeah.
this year?
It was last December, I think.
Yeah, and to me, that was a great holiday TV show. It just happened to be Hawkeye from the Avengers. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm cool with that. But as far as what makes a Christmas movie for you or a holiday movie for you, how did you answer the question?
I mean, I guess I'm semi in the same camp as you. I think the spirit of Christmas is important, but I think a lot of my favorite Christmas movies would be good even if they weren't set in in the holidays. Like I think Die Hard's a good movie even if he's not trying to get home to his kids. Like
Absolutely.
I think that and the counter argument for it being a Christmas movie is like there's so very little emphasis put on Christmas that it should not be a holiday film. Like same thing in Home Alone. Like
Right.
if I watched a kid beat up two burglars, I don't really care what the
What season?
setting is,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be funny either way. Like stepping on Hot Wheels, all of that's funny. Now there's more Christmas spirit in Home Alone than in Die Hard for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Uh,
the church scene when you were saying that because it
yeah,
does. There's some things in the movie and Home Alone where the spirit is definitely present. Um,
but like I don't like Miracle on 34th Street
oh
or
my
It's a
God,
Wonderful Life. I don't enjoy those movies.
they're awful.
I know, and that's basically all
Spirit.
spirit, no movie. So I think there's a reason why when we talk about great films, like just films in general, Christmas movies are never, ever mentioned
Yeah,
in a category. They get their own separate category, like the best Christmas movies. But Elf will never be talked about as a top 10 comedy all time.
right, right. And like for me, another one of my favorite holiday films, Christmas films, is Klaus,
Uh-huh.
and that's like essentially it's a Christmas origin story.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, but again, that will never be considered one of the best animated films, even though I hold it in high regard. But again, it's more holiday film than anything else, right?
Right.
It's almost like those categories don't get the opportunity to be considered greatest of all time.
Right.
Now, the to me, you could make an argument. I think an argument could be made for Die Hard. I think
Well,
that's the closest that you would get.
that's what I was going to say is that's why I think I like the movies that kind of toe the line because Die Hard is a universal film.
Oh
That
yeah,
that movie is considered great by most anybody and it's never knocked for being a Christmas movie. If anything, it's trying to fight into the category, not fight out of the category. Uh,
no, I agree with that. The one thing that I would say, and this might be a hot take. I don't know how you feel, but I've never ever thought for a single second that Bruce Willis was a good actor.
no, I think John McClane was a great character,
Yes.
and Bruce Willis was a great John McClane.
Yes. Yeah, because I put him in the same category as like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, the late
Don't
80s, early
don't insult
90s
him like
actors
that. He's better than
that
both of them.
Stallone, is he better than Stallone?
Ooh,
I mean, they're in the same, but what I'm saying is they're essentially in the same category.
right,
Weak actors, great action stars, right?
right. But at least those two. I mean, Bruce Willis did Sixth Sense.
That's
That's
true.
that. So like Stallone and Willis at least do bigger blockbuster movies.
Well, Bruce Willis also did like the whole 9 yards too, right? With
Yeah,
Matthew Perry.
yeah. He
So
also
he's expanded as an actor. I'll
I
give
think
you
he was also in Pulp Fiction.
he was. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Bruce Willis has got more acting chops than we're giving him credit for. I think he's got more
Sure.
chops than Stallone. Stallone does really good blockbuster action films. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal basically do straight to DVD movies.
You know those clearance bins with
Yeah,
all those
yeah,
$2
like
movies?
yeah, when you're like walking through Walmart and there's the bin of 50 movies, probably 75% of them are Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Like
Although, I mean, Bloodsport. Oh, bro.
Bloodsport is
I grew up wishing that they
look, dude,
would televise a
I
Kumite.
I love Bloodsport, but is the movie good? No.
Oh
It's
no.
it's not a good movie. It is a cheesy action flick, and I love it for what it is.
You know, I'm glad that we started talking about Sly because as me and Jose were moving, I turned my trucker hat around
Hmm.
and I don't know, have you seen Over the Top?
Yeah, the
The
arm
arm
wrestling
wrestling
movie.
movie
Yeah,
was, yeah, and I gave me vibes and I was like, bro, you ever seen Over the Top? And he was like, what's that? I was like,
bro,
oh, you
bro,
gotta watch
he's like 11 years old.
it. that's a,
Of course, he
that's
hasn't seen
fair.
Over the Top. Is it a TikTok? No, he hasn't seen it.
Okay.
Uh,
But yeah, okay. Point taken. He is a better actor than those guys.
yeah,
Um, if only slightly.
yeah. But I like Christmas movies for what they are. Sometimes I don't want them to try to be anything else, but like I wouldn't want Klaus to be anything but Klaus.
Sure.
You know, like there's a vibe for everything. Uh I think you want, it's not rare that we uh agree. We do it a lot. So I think you want a little bit of both. I would like to say, that there was effort put into the movie. I don't like Christmas movies that are just like zero effort, all Christmas uh films. Like there's got to be some directing, some good writing,
Yeah.
some good acting.
I can't remember. Last year a movie came out on Netflix with oh gosh. It was the dude that catfished
Yes.
the girl, the
Yes.
Asian dude
I know what you're
from,
talking about. I like that movie a lot.
also a really good holiday film. It just hit me. Oh dang. Now I gotta look it up because that was um but like I enjoy a good Christmas film, but I think a good Christmas film has to do both bring the holiday spirit and be a decently done film, just
Yeah.
on the whole. Christmas Netflix movie 2021.
I think it might have been this
Love
year.
Hard.
Love Hard. Yes.
Love Hard.
That guy's
Oh,
hilarious.
that guy is hilarious. I don't know if you've seen the Steve Carell Space Force on
No.
Netflix.
No.
He's a scientist in there and he's hysterical,
I only know him from Crazy Rich Asians.
which I have not seen.
It's so
I
good,
know.
bro.
I
So
know.
good.
Everybody says it. Kevin, you're an
It,
idiot. I know.
it's like I'm obviously not shy about my love for romantic comedies.
Right.
It's something that it's a badge that I wear. It is one of my favorite rom-coms of all time.
Really?
Yes, it is one that if someone was like, "You down to watch Crazy Rich Asians?" all the time.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's so funny.
See, that surprises me. For me, I figured more old school Matthew McConaughey, like early thousands.
I actually hate rom-com McConaughey.
Really?
I like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days,
Yeah.
but all the other ones I don't like.
Oh
Like Ghost
wow.
of Girlfriend's Past and things like
Yeah.
that. It's not for me.
Okay. Wow, that's surprising because I know you like you like
Oh,
Maddie.
I love McConaughey.
Yeah. You're a Maddie guy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, look, I would like to know what you guys think. What makes a Christmas movie to you guys? Is it the holiday spirit? Is it the quality? What makes a holiday movie good? So if you would like, and we would like, please reach out to us. We have social medias. We have
We-
both. We have all of them.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about them? Because
Okay.
your words are flowing today.
Yeah. We are in the Twitter sphere
Hmm.
at Silenced Phone, or if you just type in Silence Your Cell Phones, you'll find us. We're there. I promise. We are on the gram at Silence Your Cell Phones. We have a Gmail if you want to type up a little email. We are Silence Your Cell Phone, no S, at gmail.com. We're on the Facebooks, uh, at Silence Your Cell Phones subcategory podcasts. We have other things too.
A Patreon.
We have a Patreon. That's right. Patreon.com/silence your cell phones. We are in desperate need of uploading stuff. I almost said a cuss word there.
Yeah,
That was real good.
we are the worst Patreoners. I'll admit
Yeah.
it.
So
I apologize.
we need to work on that. We might need to do something for like the holiday. It would be a good time to upload a video.
Maybe that's our New Year's resolution.
Oh, that's such a good
be
one.
better Patreoners.
So we've started the workout thing before, so we can just take that out of the resolution basket, right?
Yeah. We don't need that one.
Well, most resolutions you don't actually do, though. Like historically, people don't follow. Like February comes around and you're already like done with your resolution for the most part. So we should still try it.
Yeah, we need Patreon ideas.
We do. If you have great Patreon ideas, we have social medias. Jared, do you want to run through those?
We just ran through them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Literally like 30 seconds ago, bro.
So we have, no, I'm kidding. I know. We have a couple things to look forward to this week. And I don't know about upcoming after that. But Jared, do you want to talk about what we have coming up?
Avatar 2.
Yeah, we do.
Obviously,
Ooh.
Way of the Water.
What are we watching Saturday?
We're watching The Fabelman Saturday.
Yeah, we are.
I know next week, the 21st, I got to see what else is coming out, but the new Brendan Fraser movie, The Whale, is coming out. It's an A24 film. So, what?
Sorry. I had a mean thought.
About what?
About whether it was biographical or not. And it was a joke in my head.
He gained a lot of weight for the film.
Yeah, but he was big before the film.
Not really.
Yeah, really. He was.
Not as big as he is in the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, he's huge. He's an actual whale.
Yeah. Well, it was a mean-spirited joke, and I apologize.
Well, look, there will be no disrespect for the main actor of the 1999 cinema classic film The Mummy. In this, there will be no Brendan Fraser slander in this household.
I always, my favorite movie by him is the one where the devil chick. Oh gosh, Bewildered. Hold on, dude.
Yeah, I think it is Bewildered.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
It's oh god.
I mean, he was great in Encino Man. He was George of the Jungle.
Yeah, but George of the Jungle was awful. Bedazzled is what it was.
Oh,
dang it! Yeah, I think he's like a hotshot lawyer or something in here. And what is he?
Obviously,
Brendan O'Connell. He's a nerd. Yeah. Anyways, that's my favorite Brendan Fraser movie right there.
I mean, that's fine. You can have your opinions, but there's obviously one correct answer.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any new. There's a new show on Netflix coming out or is already out by the time we release this called Kaleidoscope, which is supposed to be a heist show, but you can watch the episodes in any order and it tells a coherent story.
Really?
Yeah, so like there's no episode numbers. The episodes are just like blue, red, green, yellow, pink, black, orange, and you can watch orange, blue, red, black, pink, purple, and you can watch them in any order, and it's all supposed to tell a story. that can be followed no matter which way you watch it.
No way.
Yeah, it's called Kaleidoscope.
That can't be true.
Yeah. Let me see if it's out.
Is there like a conclusion to the story?
I don't know.
How does that work?
I don't know, but I'm very interested in it.
Yeah, that boggles the mind. Sounds really cool. I would be very surprised if that's done well.
Let me see what we got here.
But surprised in a good way.
It is coming to Netflix New Year's Day. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a little synopsis.
Kevin Gallo says it's the same story, different viewpoints.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
Can you still watch it in any order?
Yeah.
Would be my question. Yeah.
Yeah, it says. Where's an article? So it says on January 1st, anyone who loads it up will be assigned all 8 episodes, which are set anywhere from 25 years before the heist to 6 months after in a random sequence. The only thing each viewer will have in common is that the White episode, aka the day of the heist itself, is the final one that everyone will stream.
Okay, so White has to be last.
Yes.
But everything else is whatever.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah, it says your job then will be to work out what happens during the heist, why certain characters make the decisions they make as it plays out, and which individuals end up betraying their crewmates based on what you're witness in other episodes. All of the clues are provided in show's other entries.
Wait, is it like a whodunit?
It's a heist.
But you have to figure out
so
who betrays who.
Yeah, there's going to be like some episodes before. So like the Violet episode is 24 years before the heist. Green is 7 years. Yellow is 6 weeks. Orange is 3 weeks. Blue is 5 days. Red is the morning after the heist, and pink is 6 months after the heist.
And then white will be
White is the heist.
The heist.
The epic story finale. So you want to watch that one last.
Oh, that's actually sick. Okay. Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, I'm all for innovation in cinema.
Yeah, push the boundaries. I love it. You'll never know if something's good or bad unless you try it.
Yeah.
And if it's bad, we'll just shit on it for an hour and that'll be it, really.
Yeah, and like Kevin said in the chat, so like if you watch Blue, it'll change how you see Orange's viewpoint when you get to it, and vice versa, because you're getting different information first.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's neat. I like it.
Yeah. But other than that, obviously, Avatar 2 is going to be the thing that runs the box office for a little bit. So
yeah, and I'm really excited about The Fabelmans. I have a very strong feeling it will win Oscars.
Yeah, I'm just happy it's finally coming to the theater we're near, and we don't have to go all the way down to Vestavia.
Yeah. So that's exciting. But I think for the most part, I think that's it for the day. Next week we will be here, right?
I will be for sure. So it'll be late because I won't get off until like 8:30, 9-ish.
Okay.
Which isn't like too terribly different than when we have been recording. So
sure. Well, that works for me. We'll be here next week. The following week, probably not, just because I'll be out of town. So
yeah, wait, you're yeah.
I mean, you're working that Friday. No.
So you're off the 27th, right?
Yeah, I might actually be here.
What day are you working Christmas?
All right.
Because you're driving back for a day, right?
Yeah, so I'm driving back I'm actually driving back that Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday night, working Thursday, going back Friday.
So you're going back Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be here that Thursday.
I will be here that Thursday.
Perfect.
So if you want to record, we can record.
I would love to record.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't want to match my enthusiasm there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Woo!
Or watch it first.
That Veronica Vaughn.
Dude, that was the most mind-blowing. Vicky Valancourt, Veronica Vaughn. What were the other ones? A lot of V's.
Yeah, it was like Vivian something from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird. It's double V, and I don't know why.
I wonder if he did that on purpose and we're just now figuring it out.
That was the most
30
insane.
30 years later.
Yeah. Come back Thursday night, so I'm not stranded. I can't come back Thursday night because I think I've got to go in for like 2 hours Friday morning, but I might be wrong. I will. You're not stranded, by the way. I'm pretty sure Jose's coming. Just so you know.
Yeah, but they're not going to have a car.
Kevin's getting a rental.
Oh, well then, yeah. Why would he be stranded? He wouldn't be stranded with you anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Can confirm, Kev, maybe not. All right. Anyways, I think that does it for this episode today. We will be back next week, and we will be talking about the Fabelmans and the very awesome Avatar: Way of Water James Cameron movie.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining, and until next week, and scene.
Nice.
Yes, sir.